Hi guys, my name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a long-awaited Scrawlrbox. I've waited at least 2 weeks for this to arrive. It was super late. The box got lost, so they had to send a new one. I'd say without any further ado, let's check what's in here. So I think I've seen spoilers before I got this box, which is a massive bummer because I don't like to see spoilers before I get this box. But I'd say we'll just start an opening, even though I kind of know what's in here. I suppose that's the downside if something gets lost and you by accident see something that you shouldn't see. So at first we have the sticker. I really like this one. It's really colorful and bright. Yeah, this is really nice. Then of course, let's do the menu first. So we just put that aside. We don't want to look at it yet. Then we have a dipper. I've never seen these ones before, but I just guess it's like a chewy strawberry flavored sweet. And here it is, a pastel palette, Rembrandt. So they're half sticks. I kind of have a nice idea for this for a drawing. And there's even skin colors in here if I wanted to go for a girl, but I don't think I want to go for a girl today. So we'll see. I'll just put this aside and let's check the rest. And then there are pencils in here. So these are pastel pencils from Holland, brown seal. I don't know what these are supposed to kind of do. Like, did I get like the worst pencils they have? Look at those tips. I don't know. Get rid of the paper. Then we have the random card. This feels really weird. It's very textured. It's like someone painted over this. And I suppose this is our artwork for the day. This one is from Marlene Rye. And then there's an other textured cardboard in here. So that's what we have. I'll just put the box away. So we have a pick between a brown paper and like a grayish paper. We have the pastels and we have the pencils. So these are basically pastels as well, but then within pencil shape. Yeah, I think we probably should test things out and see how things go. Since we're working with pastels, I do have them. I've never really worked with them myself. So I have seen people using tissue paper to blend them together. So I think we should go and do that. I realized that I was holding it here and you guys can see it. So yeah, like definitely hold it here. That's much better. You guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So this is Desert Palette. Of course it says it here too. My eyes were just drawn to the Dutch language because I'm Dutch. Oh, that's really weird. So these are encased in this fluffy, what's it called? Foamy bit. Okay, I think I'm going to use this paper for the actual artwork. So I'm going to put that one aside, and they feel the same. So I think I'll use this paper to test them out on. So I want to start by testing out the pastel pencils first, and starting out with the red and then the pink and then the blue. I have to say that the texture of the paper is really gripping on to these pastel pencils and also to the actual pastels as well. So I was quite surprised by it. They're very chalky, and I'm supposed that's just the way they're supposed to be. They're more like a dry pastel and they're not oil based. So that was different than what I expected. And I also realized this is going to be extremely messy. So I'm not quite sure how happy I or my desk will be after this. Then what I continued to do is I wanted to see how they blended. So I grabbed a tissue paper and folded it over as many times as I could. And I pretty much rubbed the second line of the pastels there. That's why I made 2 lines, so I can see how they looked without blending and with blending. So that's what I tried to do, and I think the look of them is quite nice. And it also made me think maybe I can blend 2 colors together and see how they end up. And when I did that is I just showed you the tissue paper that I've used for that. The tissue paper, because the paper surface is so abrasive, it kind of tore the tissue paper apart. So I foresee a lot of tissue paper being used. Then I wanted to see if I could test it out before I actually started the artwork, just to get an idea and a feel for the material, because I've never worked with this before and this is so incredibly new for me. And I was kind of nervous to start this because I was right, there are pastels in this Scrawlrbox this month, and I've never worked with them before, so they're really new, and I was already nervous before I started. And I kind of saw how to use oil pastels, so maybe that helped me a little bit for this round as well. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that I could try them out and see how they would blend together. And I ended up making a scene that would be quite interesting for me, that I want to work with and that I want to explore further once I'm starting with the actual work on the other piece of paper. So what I made is the sky. In this picture I made them purple and then like blue sea and then brown for the beach. And those are pretty much the colors that we have here. So I have to try and be creative. I don't have the colors that are as vibrant as they are in here. Now it does help if you can blend the colors together so you can get the orange. So that's what I was testing out as well, to see how well can you blend them together and what colors can I make. And the dark color, it's kind of a muddy color, but it really gave me an idea for the actual drawing itself. So that was really, really helpful and really good to do. So with that done, I think it is time to start out with the actual drawing. So first thing that I have to do is have masking tape to cover the edges of the drawing. And I'm going to come back about this, but this is just very simple painter's masking tape. I did not have anything else. So I tested this out before and I had no issues with it. So I'll leave the rest up to you what's going to happen. You can probably think, probably realize what's going to happen next, really. So I decided to have a multitude of colors going on for the sky. I wanted to see if I could blend them together, how they would look, and if I could mix them nicely on the actual paper. So that's what I did, and I used a few tissue papers to blend them together. And afterwards I've used this brush. It's actually for like regular standard pencil, but I was like, this is perfect for this because I have no other way of getting rid of like the chalk bits that come off. So that's why I use that, and I think it helped quite a bit. So I wanted to have some clouds as well, and this pretty much is my sky. So I wanted to have different colors in there, have the purple, the pink, the red, and make it diverse, so to say. And underneath there I used the blues, and the blues I used for the ocean bits that I wanted to make. And then I was like, I can move the chalky bits with the tissue paper as well, so that's just as easy. Because after that first time with the brush, all the chalk was on my brush and if I would go over another section with that, I was afraid that it would ruin the drawing. So like the thumbnail picture that I've made before, I made the beach scene and the sand, and I know the sky looks a bit different. I do like it more than just the purple sky though. I think this is a bit more diverse and a little bit nicer. And what I did for the water as well is I tried to make the waves visible, so where the waves hit the sand and everything, and I really like the idea. I'm so glad I've done that, and it just gives more to like the water itself, so I'm really happy that's what I've done. And then it was time for the trees, and the trees were quite tricky because I know I mixed those two colors together before and they came out looking a bit more muddy and a bit darker than they did just now, so I had to kind of layer them up with the brown and then the purple on top of them, and try and see if I can give them like shadows to make sure that you could see their individual trees and that they stood out from each other, that they would not blur into one giant mess. And that's why I used the white chalk, or well, I want to say chalk, but it's pastel, the white pastel on the edges of the trees as well, just to give them a bit more of a highlight so you could see that they're actually different trees. So after that was done, I was quite happy with the trees. They have a few layers on them, and I ended up having a bit more purple on top of it. I think that looks a bit nicer than staying with the brown on top of it. And I wanted to make sure that the sky was reflecting in the water as well, because the challenge was reflective skies. So I wanted to make sure that it looked as if it was hitting the water too. And this is where shit hit the fan. And I am so incredibly annoyed. I cannot believe this is what happened. It tore the edges. And I know I used an older roll of masking tape and only the left side was a newer roll of masking tape. But this was so extremely annoying. And I was so disappointed when I saw this. I was like, oh my goodness, here I have this lovely paper, and I know it's very abrasive and textured, but my goodness, couldn't it stay together just for once? But no, it couldn't. So I did tape the right top corner back, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do about the rest, so I'm afraid I have to leave it like this, and I don't know how else to fix it really. I can't. So this is my drawing, guys. I know it's different, it's not a girl, it's a landscape, but I hope you enjoyed anyway. I really like making this piece. I think it's different than what I usually make, and someone suggested making a Bob Ross tutorial or Bob Ross painting, and this gives me even more motivation to do it, so I'm really excited, so I can't wait. So this is my video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.